Okay. All right. So normally we start standing and breathing up, but I feel like I want to just start on the floor today and focusing in our breath. So we're going to go a little bit slower and deeper in this beginning part. It's always good to change things up, especially when you think you know how something's going to be. So just coming in onto your floor, onto your back, and letting your weight really drop down into the floor. So allowing the gravitational pull of the earth to cuddle you. Think of yourself cuddling and nestling into the earth, into the gravitational pull of the earth. And from there, let's take just a big sort of physiological sigh. It's going to be a double breath in and then a ha, long, slow exhale. So like double breath. Ooh. Ah. And let's add sound to the exhale so we get that extra bit of vibration. We're going to get exercise in a minute, but first let's just start with coming in for a landing. Double breath in. Ooh. Letting your body feel the sound. You can close your eyes if you want. So just allowing your tissues to feel that sense of vibration with the exhale. Again, double inhale. And again, all the way down to your belly. So it's so funny because I'm just thinking like this idea of like a plane coming in for a landing, like ooh, or anything coming in. We hear the sound of it coming in and down. So letting yourself really land into the earth, into the floor, getting that earth energy. So it's not only that we have the gravitational pull pulling us down, but there's also sort of a sense of rebound. If we step into the earth, we are also getting energy to move back, like the springiness of our tissues and our body and the fluids of our body also adds this, like, right, if I just drop, then my body does this. It doesn't just go and spread out onto the floor. There is a rebound, and that can be seen in the jiggling of jello, right? That's the rebound, or the jiggling of your tissues. So from there, let's just roll from side to side, rolling onto one side, and then rolling slowly onto the other side, letting this massage out your back. Easy and loose, relaxing your neck, relaxing your throat, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your face. Think of your whole body as sort of a container of fluids with some varying densities to those fluids and fibers, and letting it just move easily from side to side, massaging through your back, letting go, letting everything melt into the floor. And maybe your tempo is slower or faster than mine. We all have sort of different tempos, and at any given time, they can be different for us too. So it's not like I have one speed that is all the time. Sometimes I slow down. Sometimes I am faster. So just letting yourself come in. And as we're rolling across our back like this, we're also rolling, like we're moving those nerves that are coming down through our spine and routing out. So we're moving, this rolling is going to move our whole nervous system, right? Because it's inside of us. So as we move, we can think of letting our nervous system soften and melt, letting our nervous system be happy and integrated in our bodies. And then we'll start to let an arm and a leg come up off the floor and roll from side to side, opening and closing a little bit. So I'm starting small with this kind of bent position. I got a pea pod in here now, checking out the situation. I had to shut off my bedroom because I'm down here in the living room, and every once in a while, if the white cat is upstairs in my bedroom, I just hear boom, And I always have to go up and look and see what trouble he's caused. It's like it might just be him jumping on the floor, but often it's him knocking something down or out. So the white cat has been denied access to the upstairs bedroom, starting to open and close. And again, letting this be as relaxed on your body as on the floor as possible. So it's not super effortful, but just feeling into what feels good in the reaching out. So stretching out, radiating away from center, and then bringing it back in. Opening up. There he is. There's the little troublemaker. So that was a lot of side rolling. Let's just feet into the floor, push with a little up and down movement. So we're, in a way, we could say the slow beginning is like tissue prep. We're hydrating, we are prepping for action, the tissues in our body. What are the tissues? It's fascia. I mean, it's interesting because in anatomy, blood is considered a connective tissue, and blood is sort of fibrous. So we're thinking fascia, blood, bone, organs, everything that is inside of us, letting it kind of wake up to some movement. And we did that side rolling. Now we're doing up, down. Let's just stretch really long through one side and then really long through the other, reaching it out, radiating away from center, opening up. And as I'm in that, I'm kind of turning my leg and my arm in and out. So really giving the tissue in my body and that long line this capacity to be very three-dimensionally in relationship with the rest of my body. What does that even mean? And then bringing your feet onto the floor, bending your knees, and let's just press up. So working with the back of the body and then roll down. Let's roll up and roll down in any way that feels good to you. So rolling up, rolling down, mobilizing the head-tail connection, mobilizing the spine. Really paying attention to how the rib cage and the lungs can soften and sink down. So if I don't think about it, then I can kind of just let that come down as one whole thing. But if I really think about it, I can get more movement through my ribs, through those little intercostal muscles, the muscles between the ribs. Both as I go up and as I go down. Warming at the back of the body, warming at the spine, getting that central channel of the body really awake and alive. And then let's let that go. And let's open up into the shape of an X. So in this X position, we're going to bend the elbow and knee on one side and then slide it out, and then the other side. Body half, one side and then the other. What am I touching? Oh, I'm on my other carpet. Reach and open, bring it in, slide it out. If you have stuff in your way that you're touching, move so that you can have as much space as possible. Not every day has to be the most intense in movement. And then come in. We're going to bend both knees and internally rotate one leg at a time. Spiraling in. So we just had that leg going out. Now we're having the leg going in. And again, this is giving our joints, our fascia, the fluids in our body a chance to renegotiate the interior of our body. So we're just hydrating, lubricating, warming up, internally rotating one leg at a time. And if you want to hook over and take it a little deeper, you can, just breathing into that. Going from one side to the other. So usually when I come in here, I'm not just laying there passively. I'm usually lengthening through my leg or internally rotating, playing around inside my body to feel what feels good. So I'm really kind of actively engaging in micro movement pretty much in any stretch just to feel around like, oh, do I need more of this or do I need more of that? So let yourself listen in with your tissues to what's going on. And go back and forth a couple more times with that so you can feel into that, or just keep moving through those without stopping if that feels better. But for me, this gives me a chance to open up areas that don't get that much of this particular movement. Like the internal rotation thing is something that doesn't happen that much in most life activities. And I can feel how that affects the front of my abs, the front of inside my pelvis, as well as my spine and my sacrum, my legs. It's pretty full body. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, let it go. And then let's take a happy baby. Breathing into the happy baby, maybe opening and closing with that, if that feels good, or rolling around, letting your baby be very baby-like. So even if we're like relatively still, there's still a lot of movement happening in our body. There's the movement of our breath, there's the movement of our fluids. Yeah, so we can lean into that or we can back away from that. I'm going to roll myself back and forth. If that doesn't feel good, forward, backward, go back to the side rolling. And you can also slow this down or speed it up. So like if you need to warm up more, then going faster might give you more. But if you need to like stretch more, then going slower might be the better thing. And then coming up and sitting cross-legged. And we're just going to circle rib cage over the pelvis. So circling rib cage over your pelvis, letting your body be easy, feeling what your head wants to do. Don't lock it into place, let it have some movement. Jaw, tongue, and throat really relaxed. And then go the other way. And then come into center. And let's take the arms out to the sides. Just internally rotate both and then externally rotate, spiraling in, spiraling out, spiraling in, spiraling out. Let's spiral in and round our spine, scooping the belly in, and then open, spiral out, chest, lungs, and heart opening up. So I'm arching and curling. Inhale, open, exhale, inhale, exhale, really active exhale. Inhale, open, exhale, try to breathe everything out and scoop in your belly. Inhale, fill up, exhale, and scoop. Inhale, open, exhale. Inhale, open, and exhale, and relax. Take it forward and just relax your head and neck. Surrender, soften. You can look from side to side. Free up the back of your body. And then come up and change legs. So non-dominant, like I just have to point out how completely adorable this little cat is. The other one's up there, and I don't know, Gaylord's probably on a heater somewhere. But if you're that cute, you can get away with a lot of things. Circles, again, non-dominant leg in front. And he's also the youngest, right? He's like, oh, he's almost a year and 6 months old. No, is that right? Yeah, almost. He's like a year and 5 months old. And we were change direction. I was talking to Anthony about him yesterday, and he's like, because he'll like go into another room and then start crying, and like he needs attention, and he's he's very funny. And Anthony's like, he is a baby in a big cat body. But yes, he is a baby in a big cat body. And then Anthony said, I know a lot of people like that. All right, let's open the arms out again. This time we'll go side side, taking it over to the side, just going a little slower than I normally do, taking time to be in our bodies. And here I am in the sunlight, sun coming in, also very lovely. Yeah, and sometimes we think like he's bigger than the pea pod, but the pea pod is 6 months older than him. And there's a it's a funny little relationship that they have. I mean, they get along, but yesterday the pea pod kept jumping on him, and the pea pod's like significantly smaller than him. She launches herself on him. It's really funny. All right, take it forward. Little cat distraction. Let it go from side to side. Feel that whole central channel releasing. And so now I'm going to make my advertisement for a class that we have going on at the Alembic. It's Leslie Kaminoff, who is the author, co-author of the Yoga Anatomy book that pretty much everybody who ever studied yoga and anatomy knows this book. He is doing an event which will be both online and in person at the Alembic in Berkeley in April. It's a Monday and Tuesday night from 6 to 9 p.m. That's Pacific time. So it'll be kind of late for people here on the East Coast. It would be 9 to 12. But he's going to be talking about the anatomy and physiology of the central channel and what's happening when we're breathing, what's happening when we're sitting in meditation on a breath and anatomy level. All right, flex your feet, circle around. And for those people in TV land, me and Catherine were just talking about holotropic breath work and stuff like that. So this class that Leslie is teaching in April is going to be available on Zoom and also in person, circling the other way. And the Zoom won't just be like, oh, we're not even there. Apparently, we're going to be projecting the Zoom people on the wall so they can also interact, and somebody will be interfacing with them as far as sound is concerned. All right, let's come into center and let's stretch again to the side. Breathing into it. Really fill up your lungs. So let the breath help the stretch. And then inhale, open, taking it to the other side. And inhale, open. Turn and face your leg, taking it down. And push the floor away, and then over to the other side. And push the floor away. And then let's flex and arch. Take off my big sweater. This is a sweater that should be warm, but it isn't very warm. I bought it because I was like, it's pink, it's got stripes, it's perfect. But it's like made out of some kind of acrylic plastic weirdness that is not that warm. Flex your feet, arch, take it down. Point your toes, curl, and roll it up. You can assist with your arms. So getting taller and longer, arch, everything radiates away from center, taking it down to the floor. Point your toes, curl in, and roll it up. Flex, arch, and open. Hollow, point, and curl. Flex, arch, open, hollow, point, and curl. And let's change it, rounding down and then radiating out to come up. So think of your feet doing the same thing that your back is doing. Like as we curl, top of the foot is rounded. As we arch, you're flexing. And you're kind of coming in and going out. So pointed toes, rounding your spine, take it down. Then radiate away from center, flex, come through, arch up. Pointed toes, legs come up together a little bit here as we go down. And then as you reach out, you can split a little bit more and come up. pointed toes. This may be much smaller for you. That's fine. It could be like you're doing it even maybe with bent knees, like here. Just try to get the inner body getting that extra length, right? All right. A couple more. Flex up. Scoop and round. Radiate away from center. Arch, 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 and open. Point and curl. Take it down. Arch, arch, arch. Up. Last one. Point and curl. Take it down. Radiate out and come up. And then bend your knees. I'm using my hands to bring them together just to relax. Bang it out. He's got like a kiss on him. He's such a little mush. He's a total little mush cat. All right, so we're going to do a mobility exercise here, which is just starting rolling from side to side. He also, I think there's a lot of people out there that have weird foot obsessions. He's one of them. He likes feet. Circle the arms just to take the spiral a little deeper. And then we're going to do this. Squish the cat. Then we're going to do this. You're going to flex your knees and you're going to reach out and point. You're going to flex your knees and lean back and then reach out both legs and point. Flex it in, reach and point. So it could be like this, that you're going here, getting that stretch through here. If your legs are, if you're not so flexible, lean back further. If you're more flexible and you can, and you're ready to take this into a split, go for it. Flex back, coming around, and flex back, coming around. Good, and that's enough of those. Release that, let it go. All right, let's flip over and come onto our hands and knees. And we're going to curl the toes under in the back and just reach your tail back towards your heels. So tail's reaching back, and then you're going to take your chest forward, come over the top of your feet, arch again, tail reaches back, come forward, staying in the arch, curl your toes under, tail, sit bones reaching towards your heels, and come forward, tops of the feet down, stay in the arch, take it back and forward. Then toes curl under, push and round, take it back and forward, tops of the feet down, round, take it back, forward, toes curl under. I really want to arch, but stay in the curl. Take it back, rounded, feet and back. And now we'll do it with the changing. So you're going to curl your toes under, arch as you go back, curl your toes around round your back, round your feet, and take it back. Coming forward, toes curl under, arch, coming forward, tops of the feet to the floor, round your spine, curl. Toes curl under, sit bones to your heels, arch, toes curls under, rounding your spine. Let yourself take this one all the way back into a child's pose and just shift from side to side in your child's pose, looking under one armpit. I'm kind of just rolling across my forehead. Oh, and I've got my assistant is helping me right here with and bring it in. Oh my God, this cat is so stinking cute. All right, let's take it down onto our sides. Just trying to find a position that I can be in and look lovingly into the eyes of my beloved. All right, so down onto your side, we're gonna go kind of slow with this. You're gonna go up, bring it in, and then just slide down the front of your leg. Going up, bring it in, slide down the front. Up and in, and slide it down. Up and in, slide it down, up and in, slide it down, up and in, slide it down, up and in, and slide. Two more, up and in, and slide. Last one, up and in, and slide. So let's just say that today, most of these exercises, we're not trying to grip or add tension to our body. We're trying to move easily and fluidly, right? Less tension. Go ahead and switch it around to the other side. Ooh, sun right in my eyes. Very lovely. Going up, fold it in, slide it down. Up, fold it in, slide it down. Up, fold it in, slide it down. Up, fold it in, slide, up, in, slide, up, in, slide, up, in, slide, up, in. See, he's like, we're doing legs now. So he's going to clean his legs. Last one, up and in and slide and come onto your belly. Curl your toes under, relax your head on your hands, just pushing up and down. I feel like in our culture, we never feel like we did anything unless we did it super intense. So like, think of this exercising as really gentle and easy. We're releasing stuff, we're letting go. We're giving our body the capacity to keep going with doing all the other things that might be more intense. Bend your knees and let your legs fall from side to side. So it doesn't always have to be like the workout extreme. Sometimes it can be more of a work in. And then tops of the feet on the floor. Let's bend one leg, grab on, heel in towards your butt. Once you get there, you can just gently, from your hip socket, internally and externally rotate the leg. So it's massaging through your quad, but it's also shifting the relationship of the tissue in this very three-dimensional way while you're in the stretch. And then you're going to reach out and up, just open, engaging the back, lengthening, finding the length in the half bow. Other leg is going to come up off the floor and release it back down. Shake it out, let it go. Bend the other leg, draw it in, quad stretch, internal and external rotation, breathing, softening. Letting go of any extra tension or holding patterns that are unhelpful. And then you're going to kick the whole thing up. Again, radiate out and lift. Breathe into it. And release, come down, arch up, take it back into a child's pose. Breathe deep breaths down into your belly. So letting the breath move the inner body, lengthening out your back, softening everything that's in front of your spine. So if we think about our spine, or the bones of our spine, like it's got its curves, but this, let's say this is our spine, it's very three-dimensional. So let's say this is the back and this is the front. Like our body is going to be here, the front of our spine and parts of our body is going to be really into our body, right? It's not just here on our back, it's moving in. Muscles are connecting in and up. They're little intervertebral muscles. All of this stuff has a lot of movement, or has the potential for a lot of movement, like our ribs. They can really move. It's not just the muscles and the tissues moving, our bones also move. The cartilaginous areas also move. We wouldn't be able to breathe if our ribs didn't move, right? And the cartilages didn't move. All right, this cat is entirely too cute for anyone's own good. He's also just learning how to sort of integrate, or I'm learning how to integrate with him, because he doesn't always like to be touched. He can be like, don't touch me, but then he wants attention. Sound like anyone you know? Let's take it into a plank. Just finding your plank, head reaching forward, heels reaching back, and then roll across your foot. So you're going to like heels back into a deep flex, and then almost coming over the tops of your toes, but not quite. Forward and backward, pushing the floor away. Open your feet a little wider in circles with your pelvis. And then the other way. And then knees down. We're going to do opposite arm to leg. You're going to go opposite arm, and then you're going to go same arm and leg, same arm and leg, opposite arm and leg, opposite arm and leg, same arm and leg, same arm and leg, opposite, opposite, same, woo, same. Oh, he's back. Right there. All right. Let's change it again. So I'm going to come to face you because there's a cat on my mat. There's a cat on my mat, the mat sharing program. So the next one we're going to do is going to be side side. So we're going to go again, opposite, opposite, and then we're going to try same. One side. You can do it with your knee bent or you can straighten it out one side. Opposite arm to leg, opposite arm to leg, one side, the other side. One more time. Opposite, opposite, one side, one side. This is like take your child to work day. That's what we have going on here. He keeps touching me to make sure that I know he's there. And then looking at me. Opposite arm and leg, opposite arm and leg. Same, same. I just have to share this. See if it works. Grab your cat, bring him into the camera. Maybe you can see that he's got his two eye colors. One's blue, one's green. He's lovely. He's also pretty fat. I mean, it maybe is the baby fat, but he's not a little guy. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. All right. Let's just do a couple more stretches and end it. So we're going to do some hip stretching, a whole little series, and some hamstrings. But so to do the hamstrings, let's just warm them up again. By hands behind you, press your pelvis up, pulsing up, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Feel what your feet are doing on the floor. Feel how your hands are connecting. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Take your butt down, legs out in front of you. Walk your butt from side to side, take it into a forward fold. Let yourself kind of walk and ease your way into that. So back, the whole train of fascia, right? Connected all the way through our body is getting some movement. And then you're going to bend your knees. You can grab your feet if you can, or your knees, just coming up and trying to arch your back, especially here, trying to get that lumbar curve into an arch. Arch, 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 and open. And then you're going to point your toes, round your spine. So we're not trying to go down for this. We're just trying to curl back. So really hollow and scoop. Arch, chest, lungs opening. Push back. Exhale out. See if you can scoop in. Kind of like that yogic scooping. Arch and fill up. If you've eaten breakfast or other food and you try and scoop, it's not going to feel so good. So maybe only if you've got a fairly empty stomach, do that scooping. Arching. And it might be a full breath or 2 breaths even in one position and then in the other. Last one. Arch, arch, arch. chest pulling through, tail reaching back, and then hollow, curl, and round, and then take it down as far as you can go into your forward fold. Breathe into it. Wiggle around if that feels good, or just stay still. Sometimes stillness is also a wonderful thing. Relative stillness. And then coming up, and let's do this whole series. So I'm going to take one leg in towards my groin, the other leg is reaching straight out in front of me. Inhaling up, getting very long. Exhaling, taking it forward and releasing. Breathing into it. And then coming up, you're going to take your ankle over your knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, take it forward and down. And then coming up, foot on the floor, spiral towards that leg. Twist, breathe into it. And come back. Real quick counter stretch in the other direction. And then come back in. One more time, heel in towards your groin. This time we're going to turn so that you're sideways. Come over the long leg. Side stretch over that leg. Breathing into it. And then come up, hand behind you on the floor. So this hand is going down. You're going to press it up, take it into a little back bend. Chest open, pelvis moving forward. Breathe. Let your head hang back if that feels okay. And then circle it around and come in. Switching it to the other side, everything on the other side. So starting with your heel in towards your groin. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, fold forward. Breathe. And then come up, ankle over your knee. Inhale, get tall and long. Exhale, take it forward and down again. Breathe and surrender. Let go. Coming up, foot on the floor, spiral toward that leg, twist. And then the other direction. And come back in, heel into your groin again, sideways. Take it up and over your legs, side stretch, breathe into it. And come up, hand on the floor behind you. Take it into a big back bend, arch, open. And circle it around and down to come in. Just bang out your legs, rotate in and out, let everything get soft and easy. Just taking your hands around your knees, give them a little massage. You can go down the front of your shins. Sometimes your tibialis anterior, this muscle right here next to your tibia can get really tight. So squish it around, see what's going on in there. And then come back up a little bit into your quads. Yeah, my right knee needs some extra attention today. Moving all that, giving your quads a little bit of action too, so that your tissue is more soft and that the different sections of your quad have a little bit of slippy slidiness against each other. So they're not all gummed up and glued together, but there's movement, there's shear movement, there's rolling movement. We want all of that stuff in there. And then slide your feet underneath you, take your butt up to the ceiling, open your feet wider, shift from side to side, bend one knee, bend the other. And then come in and come up. So it's interesting. Somebody that I know on Twitter just wrote about how they at 43 are just learning to really commit to exercise and to enjoy it. And I feel like that's because often we come to exercise from an outside perspective where we're really objectifying our body. But if we come into exercise and movement from an experiential place where we're curious about it, or what does it feel like? It's very different than pushing into our body from the outside and forcing it, or like, I have to do these things. This is what I'm supposed to do. Come into it with curiosity. What does it feel like today? What does it feel like now? Like today, we did a very stretchy, much more sort of gentle work today. And then later on, I'm going to go to pole class. And, I do a lot of different movement practices, but I feel like having a relationship with exercise is partly about having a relationship with ourselves and how we want to negotiate our life and aging, being a person in the world, how easy it is for us to move around. And the other thing I want to add to that is finding a sense of flow. If we can find flow in our movement, it's easier to find fluidity in our life. It's easier to be fluid with other people. We can notice when we're getting grippy or as opposed to when we just don't pay attention to what's really going on in our body. If we're always like overriding body with mind, which are really one whole system, if we learn to integrate that system, it's a lot, in my experience, and of course it's the only experience I can talk about, it's a lot easier to be in the world and more pleasurable and more joyful. And I love moving in any way. Want to go to the gym and do weights? Great. You want to do anything else? Excellent. We need all of it at different times. And each thing is going to have a different balance, but and a different effect on how we are. So just listen into that with your own body. Like, let the whole experience be an inquiry practice. So what's going to happen now? What will this feel like, right? Can I push myself in this way, or can I soften in this way? That's my big lecture.